In Uganda, in northern Uganda particularly, there have been two protagonists. The Lord's Resistance Army, a ragtag rebellion with no local support to speak of and barely any international support to speak of. They have committed atrocities. They've abducted children. They deserve to be before the International Criminal Court, and in all likelihood they'll be found guilty, the leadership will be found guilty, and in my view, they should go to the court. They should go to the court and be held accountable. But what is much less known is that the northern Ugandan situation was not only about the Lord's Resistance Army. In fact, the LRA is a smaller part of the story. The bigger tragedy, the most horrendous atrocities, the greatest suffering in northern Uganda was the work of the Ugandan government directly. For example, it is not the LRA that rounded up people and put them in the camps. It is the Ugandan government that sent soldiers to villages, burned down homes and granaries. It is not the LRA that blocked people from leaving the camps to go to their homes for 15 to 20 years. The Ugandan government that did that. It isn't the LRA that imposed these incredible conditions in the camps. Having taken people in the camps, basically left them to die. It was the Ugandan government that did this. In addition, as you may know, there are so many episodes of burying people alive, of having mass graves when people have been shot, of in fact conducting systematically rape of men before their families, before their wives, before their children, as a means of humiliating the men, and the spate of suicides that followed in the wake of that. So the atrocities committed, the genocide which is being perpetrated by the Ugandan government, all that has been concealed and all the focus has been on the LRA. So in that sense, the LRA has served as a foil for the Museveni government. It has not wanted to end the LRA rebellion because it provided the cover, the pretext for the Museveni government to do its own sordid project in northern Uganda. Indeed, the Museveni regime, given the military budget, given the size of the army, given all the aid received internationally, military aid, there is no reason on earth why within months the LRA would not have been defeated. After all, a much less powerful army in the earlier days of the LRA defeated much stronger rebellions in northern Uganda. The reason is because the LRA presented no threat to the Museveni regime. There was no chance to have local support. There was no chance to march on to Kampala and take over government. The only role it played was provide a pretext and provide the reason, the cover to destroy these particular societies in northern Uganda. So from that point of view, therefore, the crimes committed in northern Uganda, if those are basis for going to the International Criminal Court, which I believe they are, the LRA leaders must be held accountable for what they have done. Absolutely. By the same token, we cannot exempt the Museveni regime and its leadership from being held accountable for what they did in the same theater. In fact, for worse things that they did in the same theater. This, I think, is the point being made by the Ugandan public, by international human rights activists.